Oh yeah, meant to tell you. Uh, this is uh, this is, if nothing else, a documentation of thoughts as I know them to be so, and what I believe to be fact. And at least my end of it, anyway. There's always your opinion, my opinion, and then what actually happened. There's narratives, so I'm gonna narrate. And I guess they call it, what do they call them? The CAD post? Nope, podcast. The podcast. This podcast is about the creative arts, the dark arts, and the creatively existential, meltdowning, moody pieces of love shit. But definitely not doing great with my art, in my opinion. Well, lots of breakthroughs, not lots of commercial success. I got a breakthrough around the back of this one. Anyways, here nor there. I digress. That's going to have to be the name of the podcast. I digress. Shit. Not. But anyways, I do digress. Podcast could be an hour, could be 5 minutes, could be even recording still. It is. So it's 2 minutes in. A little over. 222. 227. Lenny Kravitz's mom was on that. I was going to have MGMT kids playing because I was sitting here painting and hearing that, and I was like, oh, it reminded me fucking being a basic bitch at Coachella fucking 10 years ago. And it was quite interesting because my second round there, I did it right. We got a hotel in Palm Springs and we had the campsite, and I wore a GoPro on my head and just went on for a crazy trip about walking into security. This could take a longer podcast than I thought. But yeah, the security detail, when I walk up, there's a huge lineups, like after you're already in the campsite and everything, you already did the whole parking lot party on the way in there. It's 2 football fields full of 30 rows of cars all lined up going through clearance, just like customs type thing, getting searched. And so people had to push their car for about 7 hours probably in line because nobody could be driving. And you get up there and you get searched by the cops and all this stuff. And at that one, I remember as the dog was going through, I just stared off into the sunset, and my friend driving beside me also did the same, and we just tried to look tired and stressed out, or not stressed out, tired, and relieved that we're here, without looking at the dog in the eye, because the dog would know. He looked at us, he's like, oh, well, I missed it, I gotta go find it. Anyways, as soon as the cop and the dog do the vehicle and they walk away, the sigh of relief from me and my distinguished Dr. Driver. And anyways, we were like, and the cop just clicks back to the dog. Come here. We're gonna go one more. And it goes does one more time again. Searches again. Nothing. Anyways, we're in. That's the first night. There was the silent disco. You put headphones on, whatever. And little did I know that I happened to bear a striking resemblance to the person, the hype guy, whatever, in the Empire of the Sun at the time. And people thought I was him. And they were coming to me, and girls were ripping off my clothes and taking pictures and shit. And I just thought people were friendly. But I did wear a GoPro on my head for that whole event, and I've yet to watch the footage. My doctor friend, my doctor friend Driver, Dr. Driver, he has the video still. I can't run in politics with this guy. He's got actually all the. Wow, I never thought of it. Dr. Driver, you are a smart man. You have the chronological background. Should this shameless self-promotion happen to be, I don't know, valid, if not beneficial to the typical day-to-day normal constructs of what you think is success. If it's beneficial to the success of my artwork, then so be it. Maybe it's going to allow me to highlight it in my own way, the errors of it. So we're doing this. And I'm probably not going to tell anybody that I'm even doing this, but it is there. Alright. Where to begin? I digress again. Today's gonna be I digress. So episode 1, I digress. It's late. I have to be going to sleep anyways, but I figured I'd have a joint. Oh, so my whole thing here is it's more than just my art. My writing. I consider myself a writer. I now consider myself some sort of a cheesy music making motherfucking. Actually, I'll record this set right now. So we're recording the live set of I digress, episode 1. And if you're wondering what this is all about, it's just me shamelessly self-promoting all the different arts, and if not, making some recollections about things that have happened, so that there is video evidence of it for the future generations. Anyway, so there's a clan of personalities, I would say, within my mind, and wouldn't call it a multiple person disorder, being like multiple person barely getting by, like it's like I don't have a multiple personality problem. I have a too few of a body problem. It's like they say, the early bird catches a worm. Well, it's like, fuck, no one ever talks about the late worm not having to fucking catch the bird. For the record, yes, I know other people have said that joke because I've created it in my mind and I've told people it. Maybe documented it on Facebook from years ago, but I see a comedian doing that joke, and I was like, fuck's sakes. It's like, I gotta start putting my jokes out there. I used to think by securing it on Facebook, you'd be fine, and basically, at least there is a time-stamped thing of me saying things like, I did one time put down after a text, I put LQTMS, and I figured laughing quietly to myself, because it's 20 years ago, and I was like, because really nobody's laughing out loud. It's obvious. If you are, you're a weirdo, and I wish I didn't text you something that made you laugh out loud. But so laugh quietly to myself. I put that a few times, started doing it, and I'd always in parentheses put it and define it and all this, And anyways, long and skinny of it is, there is proof of it, but it became the word of the year in like 2020, which is like 8 years after the fact that I said it for sure. And I would say that it wouldn't matter anyway, because I did do the research, and there was somebody else who coined it in a book in the 90s or something. And but he didn't know nothing about hashtags, though. Hashtag I digress. Oh, that's going to be probably already taken stuff. It might be hashtag dilly dally. I digress and dilly dally. Those are the two names. Good one, Jay. I mean, you could call it the, I don't know, I don't want to call it. But I will tell it. Consider myself a writer, first and foremost. By the time I was 12, I knew I was a writer, and basically I've had the trilogies in my head. I've had a lot of books in my head. I wrote the book on procrastination. I just didn't have it written down yet. It's all up here. But how many people like strippers? You like strippers? I'll tell you a thing about stripping. No, someday I'll. But I do want to become in that business, except I'm going to become the world's first dresser instead of stripper. I'll just basically show up naked at a rap party and start dancing, and they got to give me money, and I'll start putting my clothes on to leave. Probably work it. But first, I actually want to have a hot dog stand called Butt First, Wieners and Wursts, and Culinary Firsts. And, the whole thing is like, I'm drunk after the bar, I'm going to go home, but first. And I figure that joke alone could carry a franchise. I also was starting to try to do a rap career, and my stage name would be Nickel. And, because being the broke-ass rapper who can't do it, lazy motherfucker, and doesn't want to tour, doesn't care about the fame or any of that, just wants to do a little bit of wordplay, some spectacular vernacular, Vivo today, spectacular. And I also do stand-up comedy, if you didn't notice that, but I don't do it. I do in my head. I have it. I'm just working it out, working out the bugs. Working at the Bug, that's also a good game. But the DJ, I heard that as a joke, and somebody said something about it like, oh, you said 50 Cent, you're gonna call me nickel because I'm broke. I was like, fuck. It's like, that was my whole fucking shtick. So, but anyways, Nickel's been only doing a lot of grimy, cheesy dance, cheesy house, like such. And I guess I can't talk and DJ at the same time. Gotta wrap this part up. It's awfully hard to end the set. Guess I just did it. That was a terrible end. Um, yeah, fuck that. This is enough of the episode 1 or whatever this is called. And more down the road. More news at 11. Now back to you, Tom. Any more jokes for us? Well, the soldiers in the First World War, did they, what did they call it? They say, hey, we're in this war against the world, or we're with the world, or did they call it the World War at the time? I just hope that it never got down from the generals that it was World War One. Because if they're all saying yeah, we like get T-shirts and shit when they're in France. World War One, Normandy, like uh, yeah, basically that would be what was that even World War One? That was World War Two. Jeez, further research needed. I hope the soldiers did not call it World War One because it would feel like they might realize like hey, if this is World War One, why are we even having this war? If there's going to be a World War Two, like